So here's where things are at regarding stimulus. First off, Congress is a mess. Democrats are fighting with one another. Republicans are going to do everything that they can to try to block the stimulus package from going through in a timely manner, not because they don't support the $1,400 stimulus checks, they don't support more unemployment, they don't support, funding for vaccines and rental assistance and nutrition, and schools obviously, and state and local governments kind of up there, but it's because they do not like how much money is going out, and they want to rework this and create a bipartisan bill. And then we got President Biden, who is struggling to get the Senate Democrats on board, and is just telling them just to pass it whether you agree or not. And that is becoming a big issue. Reports this afternoon state that out of all the changes that centrist Democrats are actually proposing at this time, only one of the main three are actually being considered. So, the majority of Senate Democrats at this point don't want to lower the unemployment wage or the unemployment insurance benefits from $400 per week down to $300. However, that's exactly what Joe Manchin wants to do. And Joe Manchin said, and I quote, $300 is where we've been. It's consistent with what we've been doing. It's kind of hard to explain. You're getting a bump up now, basically, when you're ready to come off. And this is exactly how many Democrats also feel, but they don't want to publicly come out and say this. And here's the issue. And this is exactly what happened when we went from $600 down to zero. Is Nancy Pelosi was saying, let's at least do $450 because you cannot go from one amount to zero. You have to taper off, or else you're going to see a huge decline in spending. People are going to struggle. And so now what Joe Manchin is saying is we can't go from $300 to $400 per week and then we're just going to taper off to zero. That's not going to work. We need to go from $300, if anything, go less. But Joe Manchin is still proposing stick it at $300 and let's move forward. However, some are saying that no, this is not right. We need to increase the amount for unemployment benefits, but the majority of Democrats right now don't know which side to agree with. Some say yes, it makes sense. We go from 300 to 400, but a lot are saying 300 and sticking with it all the way through to the end of September would be the best way forward. We will see what happens there, but right now that is one of the fights. Another one of the issues, progressives, they do not want to support a $1,400 stimulus check if it's going to be targeted to a more specific group of people. They say this is not right, but yet centrist Democrats are upset that the money is going to the wrong group of people and people that do not even need it. And I completely agree. There's going to be people that do not need this money, this $1,400 stimulus check, but at the same time, by not providing a stimulus check to them, you're going to cut out millions and millions of people that probably do make more than, let's say, $100,000 as an individual or maybe $200,000 as a couple, and yet they still need help. They've had a very tough year. So there is talks, there is debates, and there is pros and cons to both sides. But where they decide to go right now, we don't know. One of the big changes as of right now is that, or one of the big so-called changes, is dealing with the $3,600 child tax credit. What I can tell you right now is that some reports out there are, for instance, I think Fox News had one just the other day, and a couple other mainstream media sites did as well, but these reports are wrong. Okay, here's what's happening. So when it comes to the $3,600 child tax credit, what we are hearing is that the Senate parliamentarian may not rule in favor of a monthly check for people that do get this, this advance on the child tax credit. She may not rule in favor of a monthly check, but she cannot go, because the child tax credit, it would impact the federal budget. So what they are saying is that even though she can't rule against the child tax credit as a whole, she can rule against the monthly payments. That's completely fine. And so here's where some of these sites are getting their information mixed up. They're saying the $3,600 child tax credit is in limbo. It's not in limbo. There's a lot of people that support this. It does have bipartisan support and an overwhelming amount of bipartisan support as well. So for those of you that are going to qualify for this $3,600 child tax credit, which means you have a child between 0 and 5, or if it's a $3,000 child tax credit, that means you have a child between 6 and 17. What we do know is this is going to come, but as to the answer of will it be a monthly check, we don't know that yet. The Senate parliamentarian still has to rule in favor or against this, and right now she hasn't. Another big change that seems to be getting the most support at this time, again, I mentioned this the other day, and it's something that I kind of been reading little hints of this happening for the past couple weeks, but it's about repurposing the $350 billion to state and local governments. What we are hearing is that many centrist Democrats want to see some of this money, not all of it, but some of this money repurposed towards legislation that would provide a quicker impact rather than going to a state or local government and it's going to sit in their rainy day fund for 5 to 10 years. And that's not going to help the economy grow. So what they're saying is that this is where we see the most support, and this is also something that President Biden is supporting as well, that yes, we could be in favor of reducing the $350 billion to state and local governments. However, how much and where would we repurpose those funds to? That's what's currently being discussed. Right now, again, I have no answers there because right now Congress, they're still trying to figure this out. That's the hard part. Now, here's what I thought was very odd, and this is what happened today. So today, President Biden did meet over lunch with the rest of the Senate Democrats. And what he told them I thought was extremely odd. He said they just need to accept the provisions within this COVID package, even if they don't agree with them. Let's just get it passed. We need to get it passed in a timely manner, and we need to do this quickly. However, now some are saying that this is not the way Congress works. This is not the way the Senate works, and President Biden should know this as a senator for many years. You support the provisions that you firmly believe in. That is the reason why every single senator is there, because they have their own agenda, their own thought process. This is the way this should work. And some are saying that we should not be forced into a vote simply because the president is asking for this. So right now, what I can tell you is this entire thing seems like it's something out of a movie. Like, how can the government withhold funds for so long to the American people? And now the president is just asking, just vote for it. Let's get it done. Let's get it passed. Let's send out the money. Who cares if you don't agree? Let's just get it done. It's just crazy to me. It's odd. But, this whole year, this past 2020 was extremely odd as well. 2021 is not looking any better at this point. Now, here's what I want to address, okay? Right now, there's a lot of things that are kind of in limbo. The $1,400 stimulus check is not. That will stick, but we do know that Bernie Sanders, as well as a handful of other Senate Democrats, are pushing for a monthly stimulus check. However, and this is something I addressed this morning as well, they're not pushing for this in this $1.9 trillion stimulus package. They're pushing for it in the additional package, which would be the Build Back Better plan, which is what's going to be the infrastructure bill. So as of right now, there's a lot of talks about different things going through. Some will, some won't. But chances are whatever doesn't make it in this bill will make it in the next bill. Whether it passes in that bill, right now, we don't know. Another thing, as far as state and local government funding, what we do know is this is where a lot of the fighting within the Democratic Party currently stands. A lot of the Democrats want to see state and local government funding because it would help out. You keep people out of the unemployment line, keep them away from rental assistance, food assistance, and things like that. But some are saying that right now they don't want this to be touched. They think $350 billion is a good amount to go to state and local governments. However, others say that there's no need for a large $350 billion relief bill for states that are doing better than they were a year ago. And this is exactly what Republicans were stating. Now, Mitch McConnell says they will fight tooth and nail. They will do everything they can to prevent this bill from going through. Again, not because they don't want to see the American people get any relief, but they do not want this huge bill going through that's going to provide so much money to things that do not pertain to COVID. Now, regarding the $15 federal minimum wage increase, what we know right now, there's reports, even Jeff Stein from the Washington Post, he even reported this as well, that right now Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, as well as Elizabeth Warren, a few others as well, and Bernie Sanders, are all proposing an amendment to President Biden for a $15 federal minimum wage increase. They say that they just want to push this through anyway. Right now, this means there's two ways this could happen. The first way is they overrule the Senate parliamentarian, and that could happen, but it would require the White House to agree and Vice President Kamala Harris to go and overrule as well. The problem with this is Senator Joe Manchin does not want to do this. So they would have to get a Republican on board if Senator Joe Manchin wants to side with Republicans. Chances of that happening are very slim. We also know that President Biden does not want to do anything to get rid of the filibuster, which is the other option, because Joe Manchin does not want to do that either. So it would require a Republican to vote with Democrats, and chances are that is unlikely to happen as well. Nancy Pelosi does say a $15 minimum wage will eventually pass, but she doesn't go into the specifics as to how or when this would happen. Again, this is kind of what we're hearing. We know right now that a lot of people are going back and forth trying to figure out, well, what's best for the country, what's best for the people, what's best for the economy, and what's best for the future. But as of right now, nobody has any answers. What I can tell you is I will provide you with as many updates as I can to keep you updated on everything that is currently going on. Right now, honestly, my mind is just everywhere because there's so much information. It's crazy. I didn't even get into everything in this bill. I didn't even get into everything because I can't. You'd be on information overload. It would be so difficult to keep up with everything that's going on. So I'm trying to break it all down as nice and easy as I can. Sometimes I do a great job. Other times, like this video, I might be all over the place. I just don't know because there's so much information out there. Some of it's just complete crap that it's just a Republican or Democrat trying to make the other party look bad, which I try to filter that out. I show you some stuff, explain some stuff, but I try to give you the details behind it. So hopefully you appreciate that. Again, I'm not trying to side with Democrats. I'm not trying to side with Republicans. I'm trying to stay right in the middle and just provide the facts. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you have any questions regarding this stimulus package, the upcoming stimulus or infrastructure bill, let me know down in the comment section below. I usually read every single one of your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. Again, I'm only one person trying to do this, so just trying to give you as much insight as I possibly can. Again, so ask your questions. I'll try to help you out. If I don't answer, it's usually because I'm going to take your question and I'm going to answer it in one of the future videos. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.